What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a stat mill. Today, we're going to talk some Kyler Murray. We're going to talk some football. We're going to talk all things Oklahoma. In particular, man, it seems to be throwing a lot of sports media for a loop. That, hey, Kyler Murray wants to play football, man. Like, why is that hard? He was 42-0 in high school. He went to A&M. He wanted to play college football at Oklahoma. That's why he transferred. It doesn't change that because he got drafted in the top 10 and he wants to play college football. And everybody who has a say in this thing wants him to play college football. He wants to play. His parents want him to play. Lincoln wants him to play. The Oakland Athletics want him to play college football. And yet, here we are trying to tell the rest of the world this is happening. And they just don't want to believe it. Everybody wants to say he's going to not play college football based on absolutely zero evidence and a bunch of evidence to the contrary. Look, the Athletics even went so far as to say, you don't have to play summer baseball. You don't have to play in the minor league this year. You can go get ready to play college football this fall. I don't understand it, but we're here to talk about it. I got Mama Savage is going to come in here just a little bit later. But, hey, man, let's do the roll call right quick and see who made it in, you know, on time, what have you. Oh, Miles Montoya is in here. Let's see. Mitchell James, what's good? Devin, what's good? Crankstar, what's good? Joshua Young, what's good? Boomer Sooner, what's good? David Duke, what's up? Terry, what's good? Boomer Sooner here. Miles Montoya with the $2 super chat. Yes, sir, you can kick it. I like it. Ooh, hey, is that Kevin Gilsey? Kevin, is that how we say it? I'm glad you joined in, dog. Like, it's my first time seeing you here. That's what's up. So, as always, drop your questions, comments into the chat. Let's get it on and popping. Hey, so I put up the video, the 5 o'clock video that goes up before this one, where I talked to NFL scout Doug Farrar about what he saw in Oklahoma's defense in 2017. And I'm just going to go ahead and say I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. I kind of know what I'm talking about. And I kind of felt good about myself. You can find that full podcast on the WOOSAH podcast. It's like 37 minutes of all filler, no Skrilla. He's got a great book coming out. Doug's really, really, really smart about football. Patrons and folks who drop super chats made that kind of stuff possible because it gives me time to hustle and try to hook up and do that and get the right sound and the right equipment to make that awesome, bring what I have or what I can to the table and let Doug talk us through it, man. It's fun. Like, I encourage you to go get it. Who else is in here? Bryce Ward, what's good, fam? Hey, AJ, what's good? Zachary, what's good? Let me see. Landowner, that's good. Norman, what's good? Nick Wolf in the house. J-Word, what's good? Platinum Mario, I like it. Backup Fall 13, I see it. I just hope we can see Kyler in the NFL. I don't. No, I don't. I honestly don't. I don't want to see Kyler play in the NFL. I want to see him light up a baseball field. I mean, honestly, he's an outstanding football talent. We know this. He's a 5-star prospect. He's a Texas high school football legend. We know this. But everybody who knows something about sports and football and baseball say no. He's a generational baseball talent. He could be a great NFL quarterback, but he is a generational baseball talent. You know what that means? That means Bryce Harper. You know, that means Mike Trout. Those are the kind of folks that he's being thrown around with. Andrew McCutcheon at the Pirates. That's not even mine. That's Skip Johnson, the baseball coach at Oklahoma. All right? So when you get thrown around with all-stars in major leagues as a 5'10", 190-pound quarterback, you got to go play baseball. And I don't begrudge the man not playing the NFL. He's going to play quarterback for my team, right? He's going to do that. I absolutely love that. I'm with that. I'm down with that. Let me see. Who else we got? Jake, what's good? Jake, good night in the house. Fernando, what's good? RJ, can you give a shout out to my kids? Dominic and Valerie. Your dad put you on blast. I like it. That's a tradition we got on the live show. If your children or your wife or significant other or girlfriend, speaking of girlfriend, Laurel, what's good? Hey, babe. If you're with them, you know, shout them out, you know, or put them on blast, and I'll try to help you out. Let me see. Kurt, what's good? Faux pas art, what's good? Crankstar. Let me see what else we got in here. Let me see. I'm trying to think who else came in. Did I miss anybody? All right. So also the thing that I really wanted to highlight, right, is at Oklahoma. Think about this. At Oklahoma, if you come here, you're gonna be top 10 in your sport. I mean, that's how it's working out, at least. Look, Baker Mayfield, #1 overall in the NFL draft. Paige Lowry, #1 overall in the National Fast Pro Pitch draft, right? For us softball fans, right? And then Kyler Murray surprises the heck out of everybody, going #9. Like, this is a guy who's a top 40 prospect according to most folks who follow college baseball and the draft, Keith Law ranks him all throughout the year. He's had him at 34 to 36 all throughout. But all of that was based on the idea that nobody knew how much he liked baseball. So you didn't really want to put him up there in the top 10 unless you knew that he just absolutely was going to play baseball. But, Oakland knew something that the rest did not know. So they prepared to make that pick. Number 9, went and got him. The slotted value, they owe him money. $4.7 million. 4.75, what is it? 4.76500? Yeah. 4,700,000. I already messed it up. $4,760,500. I think that is. I put it in the title of a video. I can go check. I'm just not gonna. Somebody's gonna tell me. Let me see. Jared Gray is in the house. Caden Mason Music is in the house. Mongo, what's good, fam? Gerald Mosley's in the house. Miles says, shout out to my girlfriend, Allie! What's good, Allie? Thanks for letting your man watch the show. Let me see. Boomer Sooner says, so with Kyler leaving next year, how does this change the whole QB depth chart as far as Mordecai, Rattler, Kendall for next year when Kyler's gone? I actually got a video that's probably going to come out later this weekend about this, but I don't think it changes anything. I think Kendall's the next man up. I think Tanner Mordecai is going to battle for the job, but it'll be between him and Kendall, and I think Rattler's going to redshirt. I think that's just the way it's going to work, because why wouldn't you want to redshirt your quarterbacks? And you know that Lincoln likes to do that. He redshirted a walk-on in Tanner Schaefer. So he redshirted Kendall last year, effectively making Kyler Murray the only thing between burning Austin Kendall's redshirt and a Baker Mayfield injury. So yeah, I think that's, we're going to talk about it, and I give a little bit more about that later, but that's what I think. Let me see. What else? Bruce, what's good, fam? Let me see. Mitchell James in here. What do you think about Trey Sermon and his future? Do you think he stays to play behind Anderson or transfers? He stays. He stays because the guy that's pushing him is a senior, Marcelius Sutton. TJ Pledger is going to probably redshirt this year. Kennedy Brooks is the guy that's probably going to push Trey Sermon. But Trey Sermon knows what's up. He knows that if Rodney has a really outstanding year, and he probably will, he's going to be the number 1 back. This is not an Abdul Adams situation. I think everybody in the running back group stays put until we got some shaking. And at some shaking, we'll see whether or not Kennedy Brooks or TJ Pledger still wants to be here in January, but I don't think that Trey Sermon's going anywhere. See, Trapper9 in here. What's good? Just call it a lot. It is a lot. Let me see. Jared Gray says, say hi to my boys. Timmy, Brayson, Solomon. Dad says hi and he loves you. That's what's up. See, Joshua Young got it. $4,761,500. That's what you owe Kyler Murray to play college football next year. That's crazy. Ethan Hamilton's in here. Boomer Sooner. Cannonball Airsoft, what's good? Billy Redwoods, I like it. That's what's good. Michael Taylor, what's up, fam? All right, so I want to pivot real quick and bring in the one and only Mama Savage. She is on line 1, and she's been patiently waiting to get on the show to talk a little bit about Kyler Murray. Mama, can you hear me? Hey, Mama, can I ask you real quick, what do you think about Kyler Murray going number 9 overall in the draft?
Oh, my goodness, that was outstanding. I mean, just, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? But I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him. And I think, there's this big hassle about whether the players should be on 2 different sports. I highly support it. I mean, if you got the talent, flaunt it,
Well, I mean, that's a good point.
I'm proud of him being able to do that, and even prouder of him for wanting to stay with the Sooners this year, because I don't know, I think it would leave us in a lurch.
Well,
we're really kind of expecting him to be our quarterback,
Well, and I think that's a good point. Crankstar says, tell Mama we love her. We do.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Mom. We got you loud and clear. Fernando says, hi, Mama. Boomer Sooner says, hi, Mama. That's what's up. We love my Mama. What's up from Tulsa Midtown, bro? That's what's good. Hey, Norman says hi. I think you got a good point there, Mom. And this is something that I brought up in a radio interview that I did in Toledo, Ohio, on ESPN Radio up there. And I'm going to put that on the podcast for tomorrow. But it was asked, why wouldn't you just take the money and go play baseball? Why risk getting injured or continuing to do what effectively is your hobby and play college football? And I say he made a promise to Lincoln, right? That if you allow me to transfer here,
right,
and you allow me to play football and baseball, I will try to give you at least a year of me being your starting quarterback, competing for the job to be your starting quarterback. And your word is worth more than $5 million. Flat out.
Right.
Flat out.
That's it.
And I think that's
it. Either your word is worth it, or it isn't. You know, either you stand by your word and you be a man, or you turn your back on people that you promised.
Well, I mean, and I think, you know, this has worked out for everybody, because one of the things that I haven't spoken about enough, I think, is not just this NCAA rule that allows for Kyler Murray to get his signing bonus and still be the quarterback at Oklahoma, but that you can take out an insurance policy if you're Kyler Murray, you can take out an insurance policy if you're Oakland, and you can take out an insurance policy if you're the university. Everybody gets to cover their bases if they want to on this injury front. And, you know, I read earlier today the Oakland Athletics manager, right, Bob Melvin, was asked, are you concerned about Kyler Murray playing football as getting hurt? And he says, no, not really, because you can get hurt walking across the street. You know, just as well as you can get hurt playing football. Nobody at Oakland is spooked about Kyler Murray playing football this year. Everybody else seems to be, but they aren't. The one organization or group of people you expect to be like, I don't know about this playing football noise, man. It's like, nah, go play. Go have a good time. You know, we'll see you at the end of the season. Go ahead, Mom.
That's right.
So, oh my goodness. Who did that? Brandon Watt with the 90.
Wow.
Thank you, Brandon. Yo, man, what do you want to talk about, Brandon? I got Mom on the phone. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate it, man. Matter of fact, one of the things that was brought up last week was how folks like the live stream so much that they'd like to be able to listen to it in an on-demand capacity, put it on the podcast. I'm going to start downloading the podcast and putting it up on the WOOSAH podcast so you can listen to it when you're walking the dog or working out or wherever it is you're doing, so you don't have to necessarily be tied to the live stream. But then you'd miss stuff like Brandon just doing the most here, dropping $100 in the super chat. That's what's up, man. I appreciate that. Let me see. Look, Duke is over here. Holy crap, Brandon. That's all of us, man. He said, told you I'd make it up to you. He did. He missed the live stream last week, and he says, nah, man, I got you next week. And I'm like, hey, if you show up at all, everybody that shows up to watch these, I appreciate it. I don't expect really anybody to show up. I love making this stuff. I love hanging out with you guys. I love being able to talk Oklahoma football, and in particular today, Kyler Murray and all the good that's coming to him. Man, he's blessed this last 3 days. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, Mom, I got one more question for you before I let you go.
Okay.
All right. There's some talk about whether or not we're really going to be okay with this defense. And I've been asked many times what I think. Right. I think we're standing pat because I think the talent is absolutely there. But in talking to Doug Farrar on the podcast and in taking a look at what Mike Stoops is running during the spring game when we're trying to be more multiple in everything we're doing, what do you think? You think the defense is going to be really great?
I think we have the talent. I always say, when you have the talent, you have the players, you build a scheme that will show them off, where they can show off, and if they feel good about playing a position, they feel good about learning that position, as opposed to every week, there being something different. They will shine. And I had confidence in defense last year. I just know that they weren't put in a position to win the championship game. And there was no B. There was no B plan B. I mean, he was going with the 3-4 and 3-2 and but he never had enough guys on the line to defeat a running team. The team that beat us ran all over us. They ran. And we had nothing.
Gave up like 350 yards rushing. Yeah, against Georgia. Yeah. I mean.
just is bad.
Yeah.
It's bad when you've got the talent and you're bringing in 4 and 5 stars, whatever that means. I don't mean anything at Norman.
Right.
You know, it's great that you got here,
right.
but you got to show us that you're 4 and 5. But when you're bringing in that talent, obviously they have proven themselves before they got here.
Right.
So if they get here and they don't perform, you know, as expected, you know, is that all them? You know, can it be all them, especially in our case, where we have no way of, or whether, you know, our coaching staff has no way or do not want to change to show off the 5 and 4 stars that we have.
Right. No, that's good points, Mama. I'm gonna take them up. Thanks for calling in, Mama. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Hey, thanks, guys. You know, I really appreciate you guys supporting RJ, and I appreciate you guys wanting me to call in. I think RJ has the best followers in the world, and again, I just want to say thank you for supporting him. He works really hard to bring you all a great show every day. So you have my undying gratitude for hanging in there with him and supporting him year round.
Yeah, man, it's June. It's June. Thank you, Mama. I love you.
All right, I'm gonna go.
All right, bye. So as Mama Savage, that's my mama, right? She, I actually bounced a lot of these ideas off of her before we go and make a video. But I thought she brought up some really good points, namely the idea of the schemes and the personnel that we have to run them. And talking to Farrar, he made a good point. Look, you're getting pushed around at the point of attack, and his CBR swag shows up a little late here, has brought everybody's attention earlier today. Michael Thompson, who is a 4-star defensive tackle, freshman, true freshman, blew out his ACL. So that's one more guy at the point of attack we lost for the season already. It's June, right? The kids reported on Sunday. The summer recruits reported on Sunday. Michael Thompson blew out his ACL before the week was out. I mean, and that's how it goes sometimes, right? But and she makes a good point, right? She makes a good point. You got to put kids in a position to succeed. You have to coach your personnel, you know, in your scheme, right? You got to scheme to the personnel. Do you have, if you got 6 linebackers who are great, maybe run a 46, right? If you got 6 DBs who are great, maybe run dime packages, you know? But don't say that we're just going to run a 3-4 and then try to make everybody wedge them into your positions. That's not going to work for us. It doesn't work for anybody. It doesn't work for anybody. And we unpack more of that in that podcast with Doug Farrar. Like I said, I'm really happy that I was able to bring it to you guys. Let me see. I missed some questions here, I'm sure. Let me see. Terry says, such a good mom. Yes. The best mom. I love my mom. I love her so much. Kyle Williams says, RJ, how's the DBs looking this year? So we're deep. We're deep at corner. We're deep at safety. We didn't get to see a lot of the guys who might actually play some safety this year. And a Khalil Halton, we saw a little bit, right? But I don't think Prentice McKinney's going to start. You know what I mean? I think that's a Robert Barnes job. I don't think Pat Fields is going to start. You know, I think Chance Sylvie had the sneaky injury that nobody really talked about, and that he blew out his Achilles. And that's a guy who's going to compete for the strong safety spot. So we're not as deep there anymore because, you know, an Achilles injury, yeah, you could be back, but I don't expect him to be back, right? But at cornerback, you got Justin Broyles, who can play safety but also plays corner. You got Jordan Parker, who's probably the heir apparent to a Parnell Motley, who's going to be your shutdown guy. And you got the 2 Treys, who are battling all throughout the spring. In addition to, Miguel Edwards had the only pick of the spring game. He's going to play some corner. And Buki's going to play everywhere, right? Buki is actually a harbinger of what college football and the NFL is becoming. But I brought this point up with Doug Farrar. Minkah Fitzpatrick, I thought, played 4 positions, right? Played both corner spots and both safety spots. And Farrar said, no. He played 6 positions. He played 6 positions for Alabama over the course of the year. Buki is that kind of player for us. He can play every DB position on the field, right? That's scary when you think about it. Especially if you wanted him to drop and play like a space backer, like a Will, he could probably do that too. And that's the way the secondaries are going. You got to be able to have a guy who can lock down on the outside, but also can play that high center field, high safety spot. And I think that's what we're looking at when you're talking about the evolution of DBs. And Kerry Cooks seems to be way ahead of it. He seems to know where college football is going and what his defense needs, and he recruits to it. I like it. I like it. Let me see who else we got here. Coach 425. Yes, please. Thank God for that. Ryan Reed. Oklahoma's defense was bad, but we need to address the bias in other teams and conferences getting demolished by Big 12 offenses. Nobody has an answer to Big 12 offenses, but nobody talks about it. I disagree there because I looked at the S&P, and the S&P has TCU and Texas in the top 20. Their defenses were solid. Their defenses were good. Now, they weren't good against us, but then again, Texas held us to under 30. People forget that. That was a 29-24 game that was a lot tighter than we wanted it to be because Texas ran a dime base, all right? They ran with 6 DBs on the field against our air raid, okay? There's something, and TCU runs a 5 DB base, runs a 4-2-5. So I disagree about this noise that there's a certain level of bias because Oklahoma State and Oklahoma go out and demolish people. This is true, right? But when Texas has a top 20 defense in the S&P, right? And TCU has a top 15, top 20 defense year in, year out. No, they got to play Oklahoma and Oklahoma State, right? Yeah, they got destroyed by us, but everybody else they were able to shut down. And against a team like Georgia, who's not lighting the world on fire, who said with 2 running backs, stop them, right? They said that to everybody all year. Stop our 2 running backs, you stop us. We didn't even do that. We knew it was coming, and we put 3 men on the line of scrimmage. And then Sony Michel and Nick Chubb bust us for 350. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Load the box, right? Play your linebackers in position. Don't have Kenneth Murray running side to side. Have him running downhill. Same thing with Beal, right? Manuel Beal. Same thing with Caleb Kelly. Make those guys hit fits and go destroy some running backs because we have the talent. We got 4-star, 5-star talent out there, and Kenneth Murray played above and beyond for me. He is going to turn the corner in 2018, and he's going to be a stud at middle linebacker. So I don't buy this noise about the defense and biased and offenses are so good and defenses are so bad. Bunk. If Alabama can put a defense on this field that can destroy people, right, so can we. And that same Alabama team that nearly got beat by Georgia, we would have destroyed. I know we would have. You know, we would have destroyed them. It's that simple. Let me see what else we got in here. Does Mike's defense work with Sanchez type player? Like Zach Sanchez? Yeah. I mean, because Sanchez had picks, but Sanchez couldn't tackle. Like that was the thing about Zach Sanchez. He's ball hawk, but don't ask him to make an open field tackle. You got his grits cooked. Let me see what else we got in here. You think Beamer will help on defense? I think Beamer's job is to coach the H-backs, tight ends, and help with special teams. I don't think he's going to really talk about the defense. Not this year. That's Bob Diaco's job. Bob Diaco's brought on as defensive analyst who specializes in running a 50 front 3-4. So he was brought in to help Mike Stoops come up with better ways to run his defense. That's Bob Diaco's job. Shane Beamer's job is to help Jay Boulware get that special teams going and coach the H-backs and tight ends, right? And honestly, the last defensive commit we picked up, though, goes to Shane Beamer, right? Man, that kid reminds me a lot of Stryker. Watch that tape. Watch that tape. Let me see. Who else we got in here? Let me see. Miles Montoya says, how do you feel about Cleveland's line training with MMA fighter Chuck Liddell? I think they're training with a guy that got cracked in the jaw too many times. That's what I think. I'm not a Chuck Liddell guy. I'm just not, you know. Let me see. Danny Callahan, I subscribed and didn't want to get hit by Mama's walking stick. I appreciate that. I don't want you to get hit by Mama's walking stick either. You know what I mean? Mark Ryle says, work to your strength. Amen. Robert Lane, I just saw you, fam. Thanks for coming through. Let me see. Boomer Sooner says, yeah, he does have a great mama. He does a great job, mama. I'm Sooner fanatic. Your videos help me get through the week to talk OU. I appreciate that, fam. Let me see what else we got in here. RJ for DC, I appreciate that. Let me see. Michael Taylor, I hate the 3-4 defense. Look, it works for Steelers, right? It works for the Steelers. It worked for the Ravens. It worked for some people. It don't work for us. That's just it. In the conference that we play in, you have to deploy 5 and 6 DBs all the time because we are Mike Leach's conference. That's what we do. We are Mike Leach's disciples everywhere you look, right? We run shotgun, and we spread the ball all around the field, and we throw to open blades of grass. All right? That's what we do. Now, with Lincoln's pro raid, because he came to a university that can recruit running backs, has recruited running backs, and likes to destroy people with running backs, and we still run the ball more than we throw it. But when we throw it deep, just like Oklahoma State. When they throw it deep. So you got to have guys that can flat out run with the wide receivers, right? I gave this argument about Jordan Thomas and how he fell off. I less think it's Jordan Thomas's fault, and I more think about how it was deployed. Because when you got a guy who sets records in the cone drill, which is a burst and change of direction drill, that means you're a cover 2 corner. That means the inside of 10 yards, you lock up everything you see. But that's not what we play against. What we play against is people that will run go routes and post and digs. And that's just not what he does, right? So maybe bend the coverage to help out Jordan Thomas rather than have him running cover 3 where all he's got to do is run up and down the sideline. That's not his game. He's got 4.6 speed, not 4.4 speed. There's a difference. Let me see. What else do you think? What do you think our record will be? Undefeated. Undefeated. Why am I gonna say that we're gonna lose a game? Why would I do that? That makes no sense. Undefeated. Our record is undefeated until we lose. And I don't see why we should lose, and I don't see who we should lose to. We shouldn't have lost to Georgia. We shouldn't have lost to Iowa State, right? We should have been undefeated. That's me. I'm not a guy that's going to come up here and say 2 losses, 3 losses, whatever. The team will bear out. The team always will bear out. Let me see. Michael Taylor, why are we afraid to go kill the quarterback? Why do we play the catch in front of us scheme rather than kill before they get started on scheme? Look, that's coaching philosophy, right? Because I can see clips of Venables running corners 7 yards deep off the ball. But it's also on like 3rd and 12, right? I also know that Nick Saban does not teach his DBs to backpedal. They shuffle and they go run full speed at whoever they're running at. But also, Mike Stoops is gun shy. Look, Tavon Austin changed his thinking, right? Johnny Manziel changed his thinking. Patrick Mahomes changed his thinking. His job right now, he thinks, is to just try not to get burnt. But in doing that, he gets burnt, right? Why does Mike not want to line up, pin the ears back, and go kill people? I don't know, other than he's just gun shy. And I can't tell the man to go pull the trigger. I can't tell the man to go downhill and to lock up wide receivers at the point of attack because his corners will. Trey Norwood's forced fumble was him coming flying downhill to make a play. If he doesn't string that play out, there's no forced fumble, there's no scoop and score. And that's the way we need to play every down. But Mike just doesn't want to get beat deep, but that's what ends up happening anyway, right? So why not just go coach 4-2-5, make your corners and safeties play against the wide receivers, don't give free releases, and let your defensive line do what defensive linemen do, which is kill quarterbacks. But look, Mike's trying to be more multiple in everything he's doing so that he doesn't get beat. That's not how you win football games. Let me see. Trey Hamilton, do you think Kyler Murray will have more touchdowns on the ground than Baker? Almost certainly. He's a better runner than Baker. We know that. He ain't going to be the passer that Baker was. But who is? You know, Baker's a Hall of Fame efficiency quarterback. You know, that's unheard of what he was doing. But yeah, I mean, you saw the first play from scrimmage against West Virginia. He goes for like 66 yards because nobody can catch him. Yeah, I definitely see him scoring more touchdowns on the ground than Baker. All right, one more question, then we got to get out of here. Colby Pierce, is that coaching philosophy or is that the mentality and physicality of the players we recruit? Coaching philosophy. Look, number one, the players you recruit are your players. You don't get to tell me that your players aren't executing or that your players all of a sudden are trash. You recruited them, you evaluated them, you brought them in. Those are your kids, right? They're your responsibility. They win, you lose. And I'm not going to sit here and say that a 6'2", 240-pound Kenneth Murray is not going out there being timid. He's not. He's a freshman All-American. He's a co-defensive player of the year as a freshman, right? He had 76 tackles. He wasn't supposed to play. People forget that. If people don't get hurt, Kenneth Murray doesn't get on the field, and all of a sudden he's quarterbacking the defense. All right? That's not his fault. And if you're the defensive coordinator, you know what he's capable of. You know where he needs to play. So why are you playing him out of position and then telling me that he didn't execute? Nah, man. at some point, especially over 7 years, it's your fault. I mean, and that's the thing. Tell me it's your fault. Tell me you're going to fix it. Show me how you fix it, and then fix it. Give me a top 10 defense, or get to stepping. This is Oklahoma. All right, let's do the roll call so we can get out of here. Let me see. Michael Taylor was in here. D. Mike was in here. Boomer Stoops. Robert Lane got in here. Saw that CBR swag's in here. Gerald Mosley's in here. Fernando was good. AJ was good. Trey Hamilton was good. Steelboy, I see you. Mark was good. Kobe Pierce in here. Let me see. Robert Lane about Michael Thompson's injury. ACL, man, he's done for the season. Like, he's just done. I hate it for him. I hate it for us. But he's back to rehab now after surgery. Let me see. Crankstar, I see you, fam. Brandon Watt. I appreciate you, Brandon. Yeah, man. Let me see. What do we got? Rachel, I see you. Terry! I saw you in here. Kevin, what's good? Kirk Perez is in here. Ryan Reed's in here. Nate! Hall of Fame commenter. Let me see. Kyle Williams in here. Let me see who else we got in here. Billy in the Redwoods. I see you, fam. Let me see. Who else did I miss? Miles Montoya was in here. Mongo's in here. Roger Gilbert was in here. Let me see who else. Norman! It's good, man. Let me see. David Dukin in here. Let me see. What else we got? I'm scrolling. Ow! What's good, man? Let me see. Anybody else? All right. That's it for me. If you like videos, don't forget to like and subscribe because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time, as you can very well see. I will see you tomorrow. Deuces.